Yeah, that's the one, yeah. Another family outing.
There are so many fond memories.
It was about family, and he was just a hard-working man.
Arnold Young never married, never had children, and served in the Army. He taught elementary school in Dallas for decades and amassed a small real estate empire.
He was a business guy, and he was, dotted every I, crossed every T.
His family was heartbroken when Young fell ill of prostate cancer last fall. His decline was rapid. In February, he passed away. He was 82.
He was surrounded by family, but just to see him in that state, you never thought that this would happen to him.
His family thought settling his estate would be a simple matter. Arnold meticulously listed the relatives who would inherit his properties in a 2014 will. He designated his niece, Audrey Hogg, and his sister as executors.
It was just going to be a simple consultation for the probate of an uncle's will.
Or so real estate attorney Alicia Melvin initially believed.
I was just impressed by this man, excited to look at the case. I had no idea that this was going to happen.
Within weeks of Arnold's death, his family would find that deeds transferring ownership of 9 houses valued at more than $1 million had been filed with the Dallas County Clerk's office. The deeds had been allegedly signed by Arnold Young. One deed transferred ownership to a tenant. The other 8 transferred ownership to a nonprofit called Mutual Freedom, registered to a mailbox here at this UPS store in Dallas. The deeds were dated July 8, 2020, 7 months before Arnold Young's death.
So this is his signature here on the check.
Okay.
Young's niece says she knew immediately it was not her uncle's signature. Here is his signature on a 2017 check. This is his signature on one of the deeds. The notary on the deed, Belinda Tucker. Tucker and her husband are the founders of Mutual Freedom, the nonprofit now claiming ownership of 8 of the homes. Young's family and their attorney question how Belinda Tucker could notarize deeds giving control of the properties to herself. One of the houses deeded over to the Tuckers' nonprofit was Arnold Young's personal residence. Why would he do that?
He would not. He would not. He would not have done that. At all my 52 years of living, my uncle never said anything about the Tuckers.
Since 2019, WFA has detailed how people have been accused of forging signatures on property deeds, even the signatures of dead people. There's a whole lot of properties that have been conveyed to your company where people are dead. Those deeds have allowed them to take control of properties they don't own. In April, the Tuckers sent out vacate notices to the people living in Young's homes, which they were now claiming as their own. Here's doorbell video of Belinda Tucker placing a vacate notice on Arnold Young's personal residence. Benny Williams also got a vacate notice. She has lived in the house for 40 years.
I never signed a lease or anything. He told me if I gave him my word I would pay my rent, he would take my word.
Benny says she was shocked when Belinda Tucker and a locksmith showed up to change the locks.
I spoke with Miss Tucker on the phone, and she told me she was coming. I said, you cannot go in my house. I said, if you go in my house, I said, I'm going to have you arrested.
In June, Tucker and her husband Anthony were arrested on suspicion of 1 count of felony theft in connection with Young's properties.
It must be explicitly understood that there is no deed fraud.
Belinda Tucker would not answer WFA's questions. She would only agree to read a lengthy statement.
My husband and I are merely the victims of false allegations by a disgruntled family member.
Tucker says her friend Arnold Young reached out to console her after she was shot in 2019. She says he later asked her to notarize some documents. She filed the deeds with the county clerk and contacted the tenants after learning of Young's death.
She supposedly met him at a charity event that she was hosting for her company.
Lancaster Police Detective Sanad Duranjic investigated the alleged deed fraud. Is there any evidence she knew him?
None. So I've asked. I gave her the benefit of the doubt. I was like, is there text messages, phone calls, anything that can show? I mean, even one phone call to his number. I mean, anything to show that, and nothing.
Remember, one of those deeds transferred ownership to a tenant. The detective says the tenant initially denied knowing the Tuckers, but he eventually admitted Anthony Tucker had been his caretaker. Did the tenant acknowledge that the deeds were fraudulent?
He said that he fired Anthony after he discovered that he forged all the deeds and not just the deed to his house.
So he admitted it?
Yes.
All you need to do is fake a signature on one of these.
As WFA has found in the past, there's another victim when deed fraud happens: the people who buy those properties.
She has some property in the name of her nonprofit that she is wanting to cash out on.
Real estate investor Andrew Howard runs ads on a local radio station offering to buy homes.
Do you have a property that's causing you financial or physical stress?
Linda called in from radio, said she loved the ad and it really caught her attention. And so we went through the whole process, went to the title company, actually saw Belinda at the title company on the day of closing. She said hi to us as we were leaving.
Howard closed on the property knowing there was still a tenant living in the home. He went to speak with her the next day.
That didn't go well at all.
That tenant was Benny Williams.
She met me at the door and told me that this whole thing was a Ponzi scheme, that Belinda didn't own the property, so I couldn't possibly own it.
The Young family's attorney had filed paperwork with the county clerk's office to keep the houses from being sold.
The lady over the title company did tell us that someone dropped the ball, that they made a mistake.
That left Howard and his wife on the hook for a loan on a house that they did not have clear title to.
What we would like to happen is for it to not be so easy for people to steal property. Because, I mean, we want to buy it, but we want to buy it from the rightful owners.
In late October, a Dallas County Justice of the Peace ordered the $55,000 paid by the Howard's lender to the Tuckers nonprofit be returned. The fight between the Tuckers and Young's family is not over. The Tuckers are contesting Young's 2014 will, claiming their nonprofit is the rightful owner of the homes.
For them to come in and just take what he built for his family, his legacy, without a thought, you know, it's painful. It's painful. It makes you angry.
In Dallas, I'm Tanya Iser.